My name is Sarah, and I'm one of the co-founders of Pizza Escape Room. We are based here in Denver, just down the road. We have a location in Broomfield, and we also just recently opened a new location in Santa Fe, New Mexico, where all the fun stuff is happening, apparently. So we were one of the first people to open up an escape room here in Denver, and like Davey said, it was almost unheard of when we start open our doors. It was a very interesting time. There were maybe a handful of escape rooms in the states, and now we have about 2,300 escape rooms in the states. So yeah, shit. So let's see. How many of you have been to an escape room? Just a little quick shot. Nice. I like that. So, for those of you who's never been to one, it's not too late to join in the fun. An escape room is a live action team based game where players are kind of working together to solve clues and reach a specific goal. So, an example could be steal, a diamond in a high security museum, or something like land a spaceship, that you're stuck on. So it could be very abstract, and it's really exciting how so many companies here are really expanding what they're doing. So locally, we actually have the fantastic title of the highest escape room per capita in the USA. Yay! So we have about 75 here in Colorado. There is tremendous interest here in escape rooms. It's been very popular, and I'd say that in the last year or two, we've seen local companies really expand and push the boundaries of what an escape room is. The quality of escape rooms have gone up. A lot of companies are investing in technology and automation. So I'm going to give you guys kind of a cherry pick, 3 examples of local companies that are doing really interesting things that, are they're going in totally different directions. So the first one is Bazaar. Yay! We run fully automated reset-free game rooms. What this means is that, where in a usual escape room you have somebody on a walkie-talkie giving you hints, we don't do any of that. We program our games to run at a pace to challenge you the most. So we really tailor to the playing experience of the participants. This means that we can give you bonus puzzles, we can make things easier, we can make things harder. So it's kind of a really cool field that we're going into that's really different. So how do we make them reset free? I get that question a lot. So for example, if you look at the top left-hand image, there's a bunch of kind of little canisters in there. So when a group goes in a room, they have to solve the puzzle and move those canisters from a certain state to another state. And then when the next group comes in, they reset the room for us by moving that back into the first state. So we call that an A-B state swap, and it's a really nice loop that ties in together to create that kind of reset-free experience. So last year, we were ranked top 5 by USA Today's 10 Best Escape Rooms, so we were really happy about that. Represent! All right, the second example I have is Contraptions up in Fort Collins. They are a really interesting company. They're doing a lot of high-tech thematic reveals. So you can see that they are really placing a lot of emphasis on the wow effect. Like the top left-hand corner, I think is from their game that you have to steal a diamond. So at the end of the game, this really cool kind of door opens and the diamond comes up. That's like smoke. It's really exciting. It really makes you feel like you're involved in the game. So they have a new game called Margot. It's a 2-part game on a spaceship shuttle. Each game is 90 minutes. So we're seeing this weird, usually games are 60 minutes long. We're seeing companies kind of push that boundary to kind of get people new experiences to see what you feel in the rooms. And it's really kind of fantastic. The third example I have here is Rat Hole up in Broomfield. Ooh, somebody's here. They place a lot of emphasis on the wow effect of the environment. They do really beautiful artistic stuff, and it's fantastic what the companies here are doing. It's like I'd like to like compare it to like a beer or wine tasting where there's a lot more variety now, and you can go to any one of them and really enjoy it. The Last Defender is a really interesting space because we're like crossing over from escape rooms to theater. So this space is really kind of like gray, and nobody knows what's going to come up, and we're really excited. We think it has a lot of potential to for escape rooms to work hand in hand with theater to create beautiful immersive experiences. So some exciting stuff there. In the VR world, some family entertainment centers are starting to add VR to their places. The Science Museum has a pop-up arcade starting last year, and when I talked to them, they said things are going well, and they're going to continue doing that. So I would encourage you to check them out if you can. In the Haunts arena, some stuff, really exciting stuff. This is Reinke Brothers. They opened last year after a 3-year hiatus. And they offer horror tours, and this year they're doing something really cool. It's like a family-friendly lights-on tour that you can bring your kids to. So check that out. It's super exciting. What do we got here? Ooh. We've got Haunted Field of Screams that was voted Denver's scariest attraction last year. So that's really, and this year I think they have something called a live zombie paintball massacre. That's like 4 words you really want to hear, that's fantastic. Let's see, and the last thing there, we have Mile High Horror Film Festival coming up in 2020, so remember to check those guys out. In the local puzzle community, we are having a really nice flourishing community here. Dash is called Different Area Same Hunt, and this year we're on to Dash 11. It's held on September 21st, so coming up, and it's a kind of day-long event where you run around the city and kind of explore and solve puzzles at different locations, and you can see examples of what the puzzles look like. They're really well designed, really fantastic, so check them out. Puzzle Pint, it's a Denver thing, and that's really cool. It is a kind of monthly social where you have to solve a puzzle online to find out the location of where you go. And it's held on the second Tuesday of every month. So please look them up, and I'll probably see you at one of those events. And last but not least, just a little TLDR if you're just like zoning out. Here are some of the things that I've talked about. Please explore all the wonderful and fun things we have here, support the local arts scene, the theater scene, and have a great night. Thank you so much.